Hello. Jeff Helvin here with Ballen Brands, and today I want to talk to you about Google pay-per-click services. We often get questions on whether we should or shouldn't do Google pay-per-click, or when it might be the right time, or what kind of businesses it's for. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that and just give you a little insight of what we look for and when it might make sense for you. So the first thing to understand about Google pay-per-click services is that it can be affordable. You don't have to necessarily have minimums when you do it yourself. If you're working with a company such as ours, or maybe another third-party company, then there usually is going to be some minimums because we need a certain amount of traffic, certain amount of data to really assess the campaign and see how it's going to play out. So you do only pay for results, meaning you pay for the click, which is nice. You don't pay for impressions necessarily unless you wanted to, but when we do it, we're doing pay per click. So you only get charged, let's say you have a $500 monthly budget, you're only going to get charged toward that $500 when someone clicks, not just when it shows up on the search engine, which is awesome. It does help influence quicker results. Let's say you launch a new website and you're looking to get some traffic there and nobody knows about it yet, right? This is a way to kind of get at the top of the search engines because you're not going to have organic search results right when a new website's launched. So this is a way to get you, bump you right up to the top and you get some traffic right away. It does obviously help grow your audience. More people will see it, and it could get you leads in a short amount of time. Of course, that depends on how the rest of the site is set up as well. But what's best about it is that it's tested and measured. Okay, so that's something that's very important. I'm going to show you here an example of what we look for when we do pay-per-click. So let's say we have a certain set of keywords. This is a particular campaign that we run. We track obviously how many conversions. So conversions would be actual leads. So we do track that to make sure we know. And then what our total cost per conversion is, the number of clicks, impressions, click-through rates, average cost per click, the total cost, and then conversion rates. But what I want to point out here is that there's a metric every step of the way. So for example, the first thing is impressions. How many impressions did we get? How many times did it show up when someone did a search in, for one of these particular keyword strings? So this first one showed up 10 times, 6 times, 159 times. So that more general one is definitely getting the most play. But then how many times has it clicked? Okay, so it showed up 10 times, it was clicked twice. Showed up 6 times, it was clicked 3 times. So those are actually very good click-through rates, 20%, 50%. We do typically aim for over 10% click-through rate, which just means that when that ad is showing, more people are likely to click it. So we are looking for that metric. So not only how many times is it showing up, but how many times it's clicked to give us our actual click-through rate. Then from there, we're looking at our cost per click. We want to manage that and make sure that that stays within a certain, threshold. We don't want to have $8 per click necessarily, unless that's really going to turn into good business for us. But just because we get expensive clicks does not mean we get the conversions. Okay, so at the end of the day, it's still about those conversions. It does show us the total cost. So again, this was clicked twice for $275 each, which gave us about a $550 total cost. So we didn't pay by impression, we paid just by the actual clicks. So you see this one down here with the 159 impressions, doesn't matter. That wasn't a huge number here. We have 17 clicks at a lower cost per click rate, so we only paid $23 in that period for that. Now, when we look at conversions, we have one conversion, 2 conversions. Okay, so one conversion gives this conversion rate 50%. There were 2 clicks, 1 conversion, so out of every 2 people, 1 is registering. Again, small set of data, but just as an example to look at here. In this case, we had 3 clicks and 1 conversion, which gives us a 33% click-through rate. And then here we had 17 clicks and only 2 conversions. So our actual conversion rate is much lower. It's only 12%, but 12%, especially in this case, it's a real estate website. We're really looking for typically a 3 to 7% conversion rate. So these are doing pretty good. Now down here, you'll see we got this many impressions and 3 clicks. So when we see that none of them have converted, then it doesn't look very good, right? A 0% conversion rate. But in reality, if the next person registers on the 4th click, that's a 25% conversion rate. So again, it's a small set of data, not enough to make a wholesale decision, but we're looking at every step of the way. So we've got our cost per click, how many times it's showing up, how many clicks we get with it, and then how many times did we actually get a lead? How many leads did we get from it for our total numbers? So it's very important to track each of those things. If we have a low click-through rate, that usually means our ad copy is not resonating with the actual keywords that we have. If we have a low conversion rate, well, then that probably means that we aren't doing a good enough job on the landing page to capture those leads. So these are the things that we take a look at. Once we have enough data, enough clicks, enough impressions to really make those decisions, this is what we're watching on a regular basis. So if this is something you're doing on your own, by all means, please, you need to, kind of keep an eye on each of those and interpret what each of those means. And if you're using a third party, a company like ours or somebody else, well then, you want to know what these numbers are really adding up to. So I could get you clicks all day long, but if I don't get you leads, it doesn't really help. Or if I get you leads, but they're all the wrong kind of leads, that doesn't really help. We can't control all of that as a third-party vendor, really trying to isolate the perfect lead, but that's something that we want to have a conversation about, take a look at, and make sure that you're getting your value's worth for what it is that you're doing. So if you have any questions on pay-per-click or anything else in that with your website, anything else we can help with, by all means, you can reach out to us at team@ballenbrands.com.